Hey guys, this is Nick Brown at J-Tech today, and today I'm going to be showing you guys power flow gearing basically inside an Eaton Fuller 10-speed transmission. This particular transmission is not a splitter transmission, this is just a basic auxiliary high and low transmission. Okay, if you look down here, we got our main shaft, and then we got our counter shaft. The way the power flow comes through these transmissions, okay, it comes through the input shaft. Alright, now in this one we have it set in low, so it's going to be, so basically when I spin this input shaft, it's going to spin significantly faster than the output yoke. Okay, now in this case I'm going to show you, just to show you so far, this is reverse gear, first, second, third, this is fifth gear, and this is fourth gear. Okay? Alright? Now, the way the power flow comes through this transmission is it comes through the input shaft off the engine, goes to this gear. Alright? So you can tell. Now, the difference between, some people think, oh shoot, it actually goes straight through the transmission through this shaft. Okay? No, it doesn't. It goes to the counter shafts first and then back to the main shaft. There's a split right down here, if I can show you guys. Look way down in there. There's a split between the input shaft and the main shaft. The main shaft is what I'm touching. My finger is touching that right now. Okay, that way down in there is the main shaft. That is a totally separate piece from the input shaft. Okay. So for example, let's start off in first gear. Power is coming from the engine, going to the counter shafts, then back to, or I should say, to the main shaft, and into the auxiliary box. In this case, we have it set in low gear, so we are in first low. Remember, this is first gear, okay? Alright, we have our first gear sliding clutch down in there. Alright, I'm going to engage that. First gear. I'm going to spin the shaft. Alright, now you guys see how that works. It comes from the input shaft to the counter shafts, back to the main shaft. We have a smaller gear turning a bigger gear, so significantly torque is going to be applied more, not as much as speed. Okay, this is a torque gear, not a speed gear. Remember, we're still in low range. Now, from the main shaft, when I have first low engaged, it's going to go to the auxiliary backside of the transmission, to the auxiliary first gear, then to the auxiliary counter gears, and then back. There's a gear way down in here past the synchronizer. You can't really see it. Okay? Show my phone right down in there. Alright? Way down in there, you'll see another gear. There's two shafts with two gears on it on each side, and that power from the main shaft gets transferred to those shafts and then back to the output yoke, which is basically what's on the other side of that gear in there in the auxiliary port. Then from therefore the power gets transferred to the output yoke. Okay? Now I want to go to second gear. Okay? Second gear, move from the sliding clutch. Okay, now I got second gear engaged. Alright. Same thing. Instead, the power is coming from the input shaft to the counter shafts. Then we're going to a little bit bigger of a gear, to a little bit smaller of a gear compared to first low. Now we're in second low. Going to the main shaft, to the auxiliary box, and out the output, or to the output yoke. Okay. Now from first low to third low, or second low to third low. This one I'm having a little bit trouble turning because we are getting into a more of a speed gear, and less and less torque is being applied. Alright, now we have our fifth gear, and then we have our fourth gear, in our 5th gear. Okay? Going to engage that. Same thing. Set the power flow is going straight from this gear to, and then back to the main shaft, and into the auxiliary box, and then through the output yoke. Okay. Same thing goes for 5th gear. 5th gear is a little bit smaller of a gear. If you look, this gear is bigger than this gear. So 4th gear is going to be a little bit more of a torque gear than 5th gear. This is the last gear before you pre-select high range. Now when you pre-select high range, this right here is going to have an air shift module moving this back and forth. The synchronizers in here. Get out a flathead screwdriver. The synchronizer engages. Alright, now we have a direct drive. Basically what happens in the auxiliary port is when you're switching from low to high, is basically the synchronizer connects the output yoke straight to the main shaft. So that makes it a 1-to-1 ratio between the main shaft to the output yoke. There's no gear ratio that is being determined in here. Okay, from when you switch it to low to high. Okay? So basically, whatever gear ratio 1st gear is going straight to the output yoke. Whatever ratio 2nd gear is going straight to the output yoke, and from there on. Okay? So with that, guys, that's the power flow inside an Eaton Fuller 10-speed. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys later.